All right, welcome back, everybody. We're going to get the afternoon session started. We have the collective bargaining panel starting up, and it's going to be moderated by the Associate General Counsel of the NLCS champions, the Arizona Diamondbacks. His name is Caleb J. He's a professor of sports law here at ASU. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you for joining us for this great event. We have a lot of interesting and timely issues to discuss this afternoon. Again, my name is Caleb J, and I am the Associate General Counsel for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and also a teacher of sports law here at ASU as well as next semester. So sign up. We've got a lot of great panelists here. We have Gregg Clifton of Jackson & Lewis LLP. Seated next to him is Darren Heitner of Dynasty Athlete Representation, and on my left, Travis Leach of Snell and Wilmer. We'll now have each of our panelists just briefly tell us more about themselves and their backgrounds. Let me start with you, Gregg.
My name is Gregg Clifton. I'm currently an attorney at Jackson Lewis here in the Scottsdale, Phoenix area. Prior to joining Jackson Lewis, which is a management-only representation firm, I worked for about 20 years as a sports agent, starting my career initially with Jackson Lewis, but then moving on to Bob Wolf's office, where I worked with him for a period of time, and then on to Octagon, and then prior to returning to Jackson Lewis, I was with Gaylord Sports for a period of time. I'm now the co-chair of our practice group, which is basically revolving around collegiate professional sports, working with teams in colleges and universities with regard to any labor and employment issues that they have to deal with on a regular basis. And look forward to speaking with all of you and answering any questions that you might have.
My name is Darren Heitner. I'm an attorney in Miami, Florida, at Wolf Law Miami, where we represent a lot of individuals in the entertainment, sports world, both transactional and litigation work. I own sportsagentblog.com, which is a website that covers the sports agent industry. I also own a company called Dynasty Athlete Representation. We represent athletes. And I'm a professor at Indiana University teaching sport agency management.
My name's Travis Leach. I'm an attorney at Snell and Wilmer, co-chair of a sports entertainment practice, and an agent in the NFL. I guess the easiest way to describe my practice is about 50% is related to general corporate sports-related matters, and the other 50% is dealing with management and athletes. So I look forward to talking with everybody and answering questions.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Before we begin our discussion today, I'm going to briefly wear my professor hat, if you will, and give you all kind of collective bargaining 101. So those of you who may not be familiar with the collective bargaining process can kind of get a better understanding of the matters that our panel will address today. Under the National Labor Relations Act, workers are permitted to unionize and collectively bargain with their employer. By forming a union, a group of workers of an industry can bargain as a collective whole with management to determine their working conditions. This process is governed by the National Labor Relations Act and other federal laws. There are certain subjects that must be covered by the CBA, including wages, hours, and other terms and conditions of employment. The parties are also free to negotiate other subjects related to the employer-employee relationship. Within the sports world, the professional athletes in each of the four major sports are represented by unions. Each of these respective unions is referred to as the Players Association. Each of the Players Association negotiates with all of the team owners who are collectively represented. After a 136-day lockout, the NFL is currently operating under its new CBA, which has a 10-year term. The NBA is currently in a lockout after its most recent CBA expired on June 30th, 2011. The current MLB CBA, which began in 2007, expires December 11th, 2011. The current NHL CBA, which began 7 years ago, expires at the end of the current season. We're going to do our best to cover the following issues related to the CBAs during today's panel: draft issues, the power of the commissioner, the role of agents, negotiation tactics, and the outlook on each of the big four CBAs. We'll also open the floor for questions and answers toward the end of this session. So let's get started.